John Raspanti with MaxBoxing.com and SecondsOut. I'm in Hayward, California, where earlier Andre Ward did a media day, and now I got the former trainer of the year, Virgil Hunter, who was kind enough to spend a couple of minutes talking to me about the big fight, November 19th, against Sergey Kovalev in Vegas. Virgil, you're a few weeks away. How excited are you about the big fight?
Well, thank goodness I've been able to be in some, so I don't have what you would call butterflies or anything like that. I'm more thankful and more humble to get the opportunities. So that means more to me than anything else. The opportunities, just being humble and thankful. I'm not one to get too excited.
Now, I asked Andre earlier how much video he studies, and he said a little bit. You're the one that studies most of the video. Do you spend an average amount of time looking for weaknesses like on a Kovalev, or you just, what exactly are you looking, it can't be just weaknesses. What are you looking for when you're studying the video of a fighter?
I don't do too much video because I believe that what an opponent look like against one guy not necessarily look like against you. I pay more attention to Andre as opposed to the opponent. As far as weaknesses in Sergey, I haven't seen any yet because he's been so dominant that I haven't seen any. All fighters have weaknesses, but no one has been able to literally exploit or bring up visually any glaring weakness he has. I mean, he's dominant on a bad day, so when you have a fighter that's dominant on a bad day, you don't look for too many weaknesses. I look for tendencies, more habits as opposed to weaknesses. So every fighter has a choreographed routine and rhythm routine that they do. So you have tendencies. I'm more attracted to tendencies.
Did you pay any attention to this thing with Kovalev seemingly getting upset that Andre didn't acknowledge him at the press conference? Did you read anything about that? Did you make anything? I thought it was kind of humorous that he seemed to be like motivating himself to get, because I don't know, a few people made a big deal about it. Do you find it, you think, okay, here's my question. Do you think Andre Ward might be getting in Sergey Kovalev's head a little bit?
You know, to be honest, I don't even know if Sergey Kovalev said that. I think it's more coming from his brain trust, his people. Seems out of character for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I think he could care less one way or another. I think it's just his promoter's company, you know, infusing themselves into the fight and creating something. Look, if Sergey would have extended his hand to Andre Ward would have shook his hand. See, so that should have been the question by the press, right?
Yeah.
Did you extend your hand out to him? Now, if you extended your hand out to him and he didn't shake your hand, now you got a point, okay? That's common courtesy. But I was there; he didn't extend his hand, so it's just you know, just cartoonish, really.
Much ado about nothing?
I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
I use the word cartoonish.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It's no big thing. He's going to be who he is, regardless if you shook his hand or not. So.
Yeah, now Andre's going to be who he is on the 19th. Now, Andre's a heck of a good athlete, you know, from everything I've ever seen. Do you think that's an edge that he has against a Kovalev, who's also obviously a good athlete, but do you think because of Andre Ward's athletic ability, that will help him in the ring against Kovalev?
Each man brings a lot to the ring. I think it boils down to the mental state that night and the ability to perform under the lights. But each man brings their strengths to the ring. So certainly his athleticism is great to have. Kovalev has athleticism also. If you have two athletes that intend to be athletic, won't be much of a fight.
That's true.
But I don't know how significant that would be in the fight. I think the mental state is going to tell it all.
Okay, now Andre's a gold medalist, so he's been under the lights before. Do you think he has a bit of an edge because of that experience of being the gold medalist? I mean, obviously Kovalev's been in some big fights, but this is a pay-per-view fight. This is a big fight. It's a fight of the year. Everybody's talking about it. Does Andre Ward have a bit of an edge going in?
I don't think the light, so to speak, gives him an edge as more as his mental, because again, you can't inject your mental fortitude into the fight unless you have performed under the lights. So I think both men have performed under the lights. I think mentally it'll be a seesaw battle somewhere along the line, something to tell. It's just a great fight.
It is.
You know, it's a great fight.
Now you're talking about Andre Ward being so tough mentally, and I've interviewed him for years, and I noticed that the first time I interviewed him 7 years ago how tough he was mentally. Where does that come from? You know, this HBO documentary was very powerful about his life and his parents and everything, and he revealed that. And you think that's something you're born with, or is it both? You're born with it, and your circumstances make you tougher internally, that you can handle things in life?
I think life circumstances cultivates toughness, you know, whatever else you need to prepare yourself for it. Certainly having both parents in a struggle like that and never being under the same roof at any long period of time as mother and father and son, it has to affect you. You know, every young man needs his mother. You know, we're mama's boys until
That's right.
we discover the biggest shock we have in our lives that we find out our mom is not Jesus. You know?
It's true.
But we're mama's boys. So certainly it had to forge something in him to drive him to be able to see that, to love both parents regardless of what the situation was, not using their struggles as an excuse to fail, but he used it as a reason to make his life better, his wife's life better, his children's life better. So he took a negative and made a positive out of it. So it's hard to say how it would have been if these things hadn't have been present in his life. But certainly it forged a level of mental fortitude in him.
Sure did. Okay, last question. November 19th. I know you don't make predictions, but tell the boxing fans what they can expect on the 19th when these two great undefeated fighters get in the ring and square off.
Well, I believe it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a fight that fans can appreciate. And no, I'm not one who predicts. I expect to get the victory, but not one who predicts. If we don't get the victory, then we're the first ones to congratulate you and move on to the next thing. We do have a rematch clause, so they'll fight more than once. So unfortunately, in a boxing match, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. Does it mean the loser is not a great fighter? No, it's just that my other man had his night, and that's how you have to look at it. So I think it's the beginning of more than one great fight between them.
Okay. All right. It's John Raspanti from MaxBoxing.com and SecondsOut. Wishing you, Virgil Hunter, good luck on the 19th.
Thank you.
We're all us boxing people are very excited, so we'll talk again and again. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for your time.